It's now 5. Dr. Gopalakrishnan, shall we go live on Facebook?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Sonia, I think all of the speakers have also joined us, except for Rohan, who will be speaking another 20-25 minutes. So perhaps, Priya, you could give him a call in the meantime, and maybe we can start. And Sonia, let me know once we're live, and we can...
Yeah, I'll just give me a second. We are live now.
All right. Sonia, one more request. Please send the link to Rohan again.
Okay, sure. I'll do that.
Okay, thanks. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome and thank you for taking the time out to join us for the launch of the new digital platform by Sahapedia, map.sahapedia.org. Before we begin, I'd like to let you all know that this event is being recorded. And having gotten that out of the way, first I'd like to invite Dr. Sudha Gopalakrishnan, Executive Director, Sahapedia, to welcome you all and share some introductory remarks. Dr. Gopalakrishnan.
Thank you, Neha. So welcome to everyone for today's event, which we consider a landmark in Sahapedia's journey so far. Speaking about journey, it has been an exciting one to all of us so far. As all of you may know, Sahapedia started in 2010 with a limited agenda at that time to bring together aspects of India's vast cultural heritage and gather them into a digital, openly accessible platform. As we traveled along, we rediscovered our journey, reached milestones that even we did not plan for, and while our core people remained, new people kept joining us and it became a very large program in that sense. So Sahapedia is an open encyclopedia, but it's also curated by experts and editors. Sahapedia collaborates with institutions like the National Center for Performing Arts, the National Museum of Natural History, the Rashtrapati Bhavan, Sangeet Natak Academy, the Central Board of Secondary Education, universities and institutions of higher learning, such as the National Institute of Advanced Studies in Bangalore and the Indian Institute of Advanced Studies in Shimla. So we get scholars to contribute material. We have developed networks of a large number of scholars and also doers. I mean, by doers, I mean practitioners, those who dance, those who make, those who create anything, and those who have contributed into multiple domains like philosophy, ritual, yoga, cooking methods, local medicinal knowledge, dance, music, and chanting traditions, to name a few. While this content that I'm speaking about of encyclopedia content kept growing with multimedia inputs, through each new program, we have rediscovered ourselves. To cite a few examples of the diversity of this corpus, some of this material includes an in-depth, for example, an in-depth documentation of the cultural richness of Chhattisgarh, including their communities, oral narratives, festivals, and art traditions. An extensive documentation of the Rashtrapati Bhavan, culminating in a series of 12 books. And then, for example, the town, sites, and dress habits of Ladakh, select UNESCO World Heritage Sites, including the Taj Mahal, the Brihadishwara, and many of them, mural paintings in Kerala, sculptural art of Hoysala dynasty in Karnataka, monastic dances in Arunachal Pradesh, dances, extensive dancing, for example, including Kuchipudi, Yakshagana, Mohiniyattam, Kathak, Satriya, Odissi, Ram Leela, and many others, not just the documentation, but also conversations with experts who have been either experts or practitioners or people who have devoted a lifetime to that kind of a dance. Then Pashmina, for example, the Pashmina shawl from Kashmir, the Itr industry in Kannauj, Taleems of Kolhapur, Tamil Jain communities, lesser known practices around the Ramzan, Bhakti, Sufi traditions in South India. So it's a very extensively wrought, what I'm saying is some stray examples from here and there, but it's a very comprehensive knowledge site, I would say. Apart from this, we also instituted a program of fellowships on photography, film, and research in collaboration with UNESCO. And beyond that, an Explore Fellowship for tangible sites and museums. Another significant initiative is called Samvad, a detailed interaction with experts who have made significant contribution in their respective fields. For example, people like Dr Gopalakrishnan or Professor Satyavar Shastri, the textile expert Jasleen Dhamija. It's again another very large pool of scholars who have given extensive conversations on what made them do what they did and what do they see the present scenario of art as. So it's a very long interviews with them. This physical activity, we also got into physical activity, for example, concerning heritage experiences, culminating primarily in walks across the country, for which we also got an international award. And then a cultural mapping program, which is a flagship program of this at this point of time, which developed into a robust interactive mapping platform aided by MapmyIndia. Now we have regional and city maps around for Pune, Kochi, Rajasthan, Indore, and many other towns and sites. And also another thematic mapping site for museums of India. On the comprehensive cultural mapping initiative with the help of Tata Technologies and MapmyIndia, apart from the platform, many activities are planned in the future also, in the near future also. We just had an international conference on cultural mapping on 28th and 29th of September, this last month, in collaboration with the Center for Social Studies and at the University of Coimbra, Azim Premji University, the Center for Internet and Society, and the Recentering Afro-Asia project at the University of Cape Town. Between 2000 and 2018, Sahapedia has developed its own digital platform and published considerable high-quality content on its platform www.sahapedia.org, and experimented with a number of other digital and offline activities to give greater access to India's cultural heritage to growing numbers of users. So in this context, we are delighted to welcome all of you for the release of the second edition of the platform, and also with an emphasis on cultural mapping. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Gopalakrishnan. Now I'd like to invite Mr. S Ramadorai to say a few words. Mr. Ramadorai is a former advisor to the Prime Minister of India on the National Council of Skill Development, and he has been our guide and mentor in his role as the president of Sahapedia. Mr. Ramadorai.
Good evening, everyone. On this festive week, it's a very, very proud moment to launch Sahapedia 2.0 on our decade-long journey, the cultural mapping platform by Sahapedia. More so because in a country like India, where we have over 4,000 years of documented history, which is over 400 languages and 4,600 plus communities, and more than 8,000 historic monuments, listing and mapping our cultural assets and resources is of extreme significance. As we have, especially over the last 2 years, during the collective trauma caused by the pandemic, in our darkest hours, we reach almost instinctively for the support our cultural foundations offer, our traditions of belief, philosophy, and foods for comfort, and our creative expressions of music, dance, theater, and literature, which expresses our anguish, our grief, and our immense hope. What Mahatma Gandhi said in 1936 is as true now as it was then. The Indian culture of our times is in the making. Many of us are striving to produce a blend of all the cultures which seem today to be in clash with one another. No culture can live if it attempts to be exclusive. Supporting India's cultural diversity, sustaining our artists, and providing economic opportunities to all participants in our creative economy is the shared responsibility of our government, our citizens, corporations, and of course the civil society, NGOs. And to be honest, we all need to do a lot more to guarantee that India's cultural wellspring survive and only strengthen over a period of time. However, within this network, Sahapedia is one effort to safeguard and promote the diversity of cultural knowledge and expressions of India for ourselves, but perhaps more importantly, for our future generations. The role of technology in this endeavor will be critical, given that India is among the top 2 countries globally on very many key dimensions of digital adoption, according to a McKinsey report from 2019, a digital platform that encourages users to freely read, watch, explore, and engage with India's rich cultural heritage offers immense possibilities. And I truly believe that the platform we are launching today has all of that potential. Users can understand history through timelines, discover artists and performance arenas, explore Indian cities through trails curated by experts or their friends, and watch interviews with experts to learn through their experiences. I hope you enjoy exploring India through map.sahapedia.org as much as our team has enjoyed developing the platform and publishing stories from across the country and beyond on it. My hope is that in the future, this platform and its contents will also be used by educationists and researchers to make it richer and to increase the value to India and Indians alike. Keep healthy and stay safe. Thank you, Happy Dashara. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ramadorai. I'd like to now request Mr. Warren Harris to share his thoughts. Mr. Harris is CEO of Tata Technologies, and without the CSR support extended by Tata Technologies, it would have been a challenge indeed for us to develop the platform we're launching today. Mr. Harris?
Thank you, Neha. And it is a great privilege for me to represent Tata Technologies at this auspicious event. It's also been a great privilege to partner with Sahapedia on the development of the platform and on the specific activities in and around the mapping of cultural artifacts and activities in the city of Pune. Tomorrow, I will jump on an aeroplane, and I'm planning to travel to India for the first time in 18 months. The last time I was in India was in March 2020, when we launched in Pune the beta site of the platform that we are officially rolling out today. And I remember fondly meeting with many of you on that evening. And as Mr. Ramadorai mentioned, the last 18 months has taught us many things, but I think one of the things that it has taught us is the importance of capturing and disseminating many of the things that we take for granted when we travel. And through that, it certainly reinforced for me the importance of the partnership and the work that we are undertaking. And it's again been a great privilege to be part of the important mission that Sahapedia is responsible for. Tata Technologies is, in terms of its purpose, committed to engineering a better world. And one of the ways that we do that is through capturing knowledge and information from the past and better understanding that. And so the relationship with Sahapedia is very much an extension of why we exist. And it is very important to us that not only do we generate value through the execution of our purpose, but we take the opportunity to give back where we have the opportunities to be able to do that. And it's also appropriate for us that the first part of our engagement has given us an opportunity to collect many of the cultural artifacts that have defined the rich tapestry that underpins the city of Pune. Pune, for the last 20 years, has been our home. It's been the basis on which we have built our organization. It's an organization that now has over 9,000 employees. We have 16 different geographic locations, 27 different nationalities. And the skills and capabilities that we have developed in Pune have been the basis on which we have built relationships with some of the most progressive manufacturing companies in the world. And so we take the opportunity today to dedicate the efforts that we've undertaken and the commitment that we've made through Sahapedia to the communities that position themselves in and around Pune. If it had not been for the wonderful city of Pune, our organization would not exist. And so we're very grateful to Sahapedia for the opportunity to demonstrate our commitment to that local area. Once again, thank you very, very much for the opportunity to be part of this today. Thank you for the partnership. We are very privileged to be part of this, and we look forward to building upon the relationship and doing many more things in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. We'd like to now take a few minutes to share the ideas that led to the development of this platform and show you the highlights of the platform as well. Sayali, if you could share your screen and show the presentation. Thank you. We'll make that full screen. Thanks. We can move to the first slide, Sayali. Thanks. So at Sahapedia, we've always thought of culture as a public resource. And so over the last 10 years, it has really developed as the digital library of Indian culture. And the 4 values that guide our work, Sally, if you can, is that it's freely accessible, that all the information on it is freely accessible, that it's inclusive, that it's collaborative. And as you will see, all of our projects on cultural mapping as well have worked in that way, and that it's reliable. And Dr. Gopalakrishnan has already mentioned the many areas we work in, and so I won't go into detail, but you can see the list here, from knowledge traditions to histories to built spaces and natural environment. Next, please. So drawing upon our experience from the last 10 years, we figured when we were planning for this platform that what do users actually want? And what we think that users want is credible content. So to not wonder if the content that they're reading or watching is really true. They want ease of use, to be able to navigate a site easily, to read, watch, or do, and to have language options, because India is a country of great diversity in that too. They want storytelling. So when they're actually encountering new information, it's not just data that we need to provide. We need to tell the story in engaging ways. And they also want to be able to share their own knowledge and favorites with their family and friends or with the larger public. Finally, all of this leads to then what is a one-stop resource or a platform where they can do all of these things, have credible content, find it easy to use, read things in ways that tell narratives and so on. And so for users on this platform, as you will see on the front end, in addition to previous formats of articles and image galleries and so on, we've introduced timelines, trails, and chapterized videos. We also have multiple languages. We have much of our content in Marathi, Malayalam, English, Bengali, Hindi, and more. Users can, in terms of engaging with the content, can bookmark content. They can create their own trails and then share them privately. And using MapmyIndia as our mapping platform, they can see the locations of places and get directions from wherever they are to that point as well. Next one, please, Sally. For curators and editors, and this is also critical, so how do you actually tell stories or how do you make connections between data? The back end of this platform is customizable for different projects. So depending on if you're exploring a theme or a geographic region, you can do different things. There's also deep ontology, by which I mean that you can classify things both as perhaps a built monument, but also a current school in use, right? And then the platform provides automated tagging suggestions across different languages. And this is something that is really missing for Indian content, we believe. It's there in Western resources and platforms, but it's not there for Indian content. And so how do you extract metadata and give useful suggestions for users in the future? And there's system generated recommendations based on those tags. There's also a resource and IPR database. So how do you know who it belongs to and how can users use that content going forward? So can they use it? Is it under Creative Commons? And then the same backend can serve customizable front-end templates. That's heavy language, but what it means is that it can show up in different ways. So if tomorrow a museum collaborates with us or wants to use our backend, they can use it and it can show up the way that the museum wants, and it need not show up the way that Sahapedia has designed its front-end templates, right? Sally, we'll move on. So the highlights as of now on this platform, and we hope that it grows in the future, are over 2,500 plus mapped points of interest across 12 cities or projects, as you'll see. It has over 4,000 articles, videos, and galleries, and then 25 trails, timelines, and blogs. And these are things we're still developing. So in lieu of a physical sort of, inauguration of this site or something where you would all have clicked on a button, we're going to show you a video with the highlights of the platform. Sally, next slide where we can show the video. Thanks. Thanks very much, Sally. We can stop sharing the presentation right now. Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Rohan Verma to say a few words. Mr. Verma is the CEO and Executive Director of MapmyIndia, our mapping partners for this platform. Rohan, and before we do that, Padmapriya, if you could mute yourself, perhaps. Thanks.
Good evening, everybody. It's such a pleasure and a happy moment to see the launch of map.sahapedia.org. Actually, we've been in love with the idea of this maybe for, I don't know, it's been maybe 2 years or something since Priya came to us and said that, look, we have this idea in mind to create a cultural map. And I said, look, we are named MapmyIndia because we want to help map my India. And 25 years we've spent mapping the country. But always in my mind, it was that, can we make a personalized map for everybody? A map that means something to them. And to be honest, the whole idea, I mean, and congratulations to, Sudha ma'am and all of you, who have been building Sahapedia. Actually, the concept of Sahapedia itself was very, very powerful and interesting to me. And I really saw that there's a very powerful fit between Sahapedia and MapmyIndia. And I think engineers from both sides, product folks from both sides, designers from both sides really worked hard to kind of put together this back end, the front end. It also took a lot of persistence and a lot of badgering from the Sahapedia team to make sure that the MapmyIndia team was also actively kind of responding amongst all the priorities that we have as a company. This although close to our heart, definitely, we've taken more time than we should in our team also for the Sahapedia project. And I hope that it reflects in the outcome. I think it's just a stellar kind of cultural map-based guide. I think from a knowledge point of view, from somebody who's looking to experience culture, and the examples of where Black comedy in Pune is practiced, or the history or the trails. I think if you look at this trails feature, it's so nice. You can kind of really immerse yourself. And I'm glad that using MapmyIndia's platform, our APIs, our maps, amazing things are built. I mean, that's honestly why we build our maps and our technologies, because we want to see great creators, great innovators bring something to life. This Sahapedia, I think, will serve the soft side of what people should. I mean, I really believe people should kind of pay attention to the work Sahapedia is doing, and we hope to kind of promote this through our platforms as well. But also you can create very powerful and things that are needed. Powerful things which are also needed. When the COVID crisis happened, our similar APIs and widgets were used by the COVID platform of Government of India to help citizens kind of find the nearby vaccine centers, whether they're in a village or they're in the city, so that that stress of where the nearby vaccine center is goes away. Or our work with the government super app, Umang, where 1,200 government services are there. They could also use the similar APIs and SDKs and widgets so that you can find where the nearby ration shop is or Inam Mandi is. So there's lots of innovations, I think, that are yet to come. First of all, I hope that the Sahapedia platform is leveraged by a lot of curators, editors, creators. I hope that a lot of museums and others join in this, because it's a platform. Honestly, the more that people create on it, the more it'll help others. So so I will also be asking another of our teams, which is building something we call the Pray app, which is about your religious, cultural, and spiritual roots. It's an app that is downloadable on Android and iOS. and there's a lot of content they have collected about culture, religion, and spirituality. I'll tell them also to kind of put that in this Sahapedia map, so that this kind of cross collaboration can happen. So thanks a lot for this time and opportunity, and it's great to be in the presence of some really esteemed people. I know and look up to all of you who have spoken before me and who will speak after me, and yeah, wish the team the best, and to all the team members of Sahapedia who've interacted with us, from Neha to Priya to the others who Rachna, and there have been others also whose names I'm forgetting. Congratulations and all the very best.
Thank you so much, Rohan. And yes, the idea is entirely that this resource grows and builds, and that more creators and innovators can add to this. And it's been a journey with your team as well. I'd like to now call upon Dr. Shailesh Nayak to share his thoughts on the platform. Dr. Nayak is director of the National Institute of Advanced Studies, precisely the kind of institution we would like to see use this platform for both educational and research purposes. Dr. Nayak.
Thank you very much, Neha. And first of all, my heartiest congratulations to Dr. Sudha, to Neha, and the entire team who has created this very marvelous and very innovative platform. And I think this is a very unique kind of an experiment where, we have tried to document, not only document, but to also provide visualization of the past culture, and by very nicely using the technology. And I'm very happy that Tata Tech is also been supporting this initiative extremely well. And the third is, of course, Rohan said of MapmyIndia, which brought the map technology and the culture. I think the map provided the relationship between the culture and our landscape, our society. And I think this relationship, which is being built on this platform, is extremely useful. Also for Dr. Ramadorai also mentioned, this could be very well used for the research, education, and of course, for as a tourism, or also as one of the idea to provide the information to even layman about without much of a. So this concept, I think, is extremely good. And at NIAS, we are extremely happy with this. And on behalf of all of my colleagues, also, I would like to convey hearty congratulations. And I must admit, when we started discussing with Sudha and her colleagues, we also started on digital humanities, which we had not thought earlier. But now we are also trying to work on the various other aspects of this in a digital way. And I think the partnership which Sahapedia over period has built, I think it's a long, going to stay for a very long, and I think it would going to make life different. And as time passes, I think more and more people would join, and it become richer and richer. And I'm sure that as time comes, people will realize its importance and very widely being used, not only in India, but throughout the globe. I don't think we need to restrict ourselves only to India, but throughout the globe, because such an example, in my view, I don't think anywhere else exists where the entire thing is being tried to do. So my very best to Dr. Sudha and her colleagues, and I'm sure that this will definitely help to bring the awareness about culture in the country. All the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nayak. And to wrap up this evening's program, I'd like to call upon my colleague Vaibhav Chauhan to give the vote of thanks. But before he does it, I'd also like to point out that over both October and November, we actually have a pretty full calendar of events for the Culture for All Festival. So I encourage you to take a look at that as well. We'll share a video at the end of this with you. Vaibhav?
Yeah, thanks, Neha.
Yes.
I, on behalf of Sahapedia and the entire Pune cultural mapping team, extend my vote of thanks to Mr. S Ramadorai, Dr. Sudha Gopalakrishnan, Mr. Warren Harris, Dr. Shailesh Nayak, and Mr. Rohan Verma, and as well as to all the attendees today. I thank our platform sponsors, Tata Technologies, TCS Foundation, PP Seth Aromas Private Limited, Desai Foundation for Change, Indian Hotels Corporation Limited, Interglobe Foundation, and ST Parekh Foundation. I also thank our platform development partners, the development team of Piana IT Solutions Private Limited, mapping platform partner MapmyIndia, designer Satchidananda Bista, Sahapedia team who painstakingly built this and kind of helped all these pieces stitched together. Neha Paliwal, Padmapriya, R. Shivapriya, Abhinav Gupta, and Rachna Pandey. The project would not have been possible without our key collaborators. Some of them are mentioned here. ISER Pune, Bhandarkar Research Institute, Pune University, Symbiosis College of Photography, and many more individuals and organizations. Our Culture for All festival partners, key collaborators are Tata Technologies, UNESCO, Teamwork Arts, Art Matters Program, and Jagannath Books. Mr. Manish Sasodia, Sri Venu, Himanshu Vajpayee, Vashu Dikshit, Bindu Malini, and many more performers and personalities who are going to be taking part during this month-long event chain, which Neha talked about. Our Sahapedia team, Neha Paliwal, Padmapriya, Ila Gupta, Sunana Mehrotra, Mukta Didi Chand, and especially Sarasi Ganguly, Saili Pense, and Sonia Kanchan for putting up this wonderful events calendar. Neha, can you go to the next slide? We have multiple events lined up for Culture for All Festival. This video gives glimpse of all these events. Neha, can you please? Thank you, Neha.
Yeah, thanks so much. With that, we conclude the event. We'll be here for another 10-15 minutes. If anyone has questions or clarifications about the site itself or anything you saw today, please feel free to address us now. Thank you very much.